Bid'ah. You don't even know the meaning of bid'ah. And I think it's time for content creators, specifically that give da'wah, to really get a formal education or stop making videos. Honestly, it's getting a bit too much right now over the years. But check this out.
The answer that something has to be done in the Prophet's time or else it is bid'ah came up earlier, okay? In the question of bid'ah posed by Imam al-Shafi'i. And we take, now you have the majority of the Ahl Sunnah today, we are taking our definition of bid'ah from Imam al-Shafi'i, who said the bid'ah is not something that was not done in the time of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. The bid'ah is something that goes against the teachings of the Prophet ﷺ. What's the proof of this? The proof of this is that the Sahaba in the time of the Prophet used to do actions without taking permission for the Prophet or seeing the Prophet do it, and then Allah informed the Prophet ﷺ that he had accepted those actions before even the Prophet knew about it. Okay? So what's one example? A Sahabi got up from the Salah and he said, Alhamdulillah hamdan kathiran tayyiban mubarakan fi. Then the Prophet ﷺ turned around and he said, I saw 30 angels writing something. What was it? Okay? So what happened? The angels accepted it, which means Allah accepted it before the Prophet even knew what it was. So what does that mean the Sahaba operated on? The Sahaba operated on an understanding of the general rubric of the religion, and then they operated within that. Bilal, I hear your footsteps in paradise. For what cause is this? The Prophet is asking Bilal. Bilal said, because after every wudu, I pray 2 rak'ahs. Tell me, did the Prophet ﷺ teach or tell anyone to pray 2 rak'ahs after salah? After wudu? No. The Bilal did it from himself, and he was rewarded for it before the Prophet ﷺ even knew about it. Secondly, let's go to the Sahaba. They gathered the Quran, something the Prophet ﷺ didn't do. They eliminated all the other accents of the Quran, something the Prophet ﷺ didn't do. They established the Taraweeh. They established 2 adhans. They established other things like this. They expanded the masajid. Okay, things that the Prophet never did in his time. So we say from this, we take Imam al-Shafi'i, and this is in the biography of Imam al-Bayhaqi. We look at the teaching of the religion and we see, does this have even a general commandment? So the commandments of the deen are specific and general. If it has a general commandment, okay, then if it's within that and it's not contradicting the sunnah of the Prophet ﷺ, then we accept it. Okay, then we accept it. All right. Now there are 2 exceptions from the most strict is Hajj and Salah, because the Prophet ﷺ said, Hajj and Salah, take them from me. In other words, be very specific about Hajj and Salah. Do not make bid'ah in Salah. And despite this, the Ummah has agreed upon many bid'ah in Salah. Like what? Like Taraweeh in one jama'ah reciting from Surah Al-Baqarah to Surah Al-Nas and then closing with one big dua at the end of the month. The Sahaba never did this, nor did the Prophet. Like multiple Jum'ahs in the same city, because you have to do it. Like multiple Jum'ahs in the same mosque, because you have to do it for parking reasons. Okay, on, for example, winter break or Thanksgiving break, you have 2-3 Jum'ahs. And in Patterson and other places, you have 2-3 Jum'ahs every week because of the parking situation. How about Salatul Jum'ah outside of a mosque, like in a rented space? Okay, or at work, or at a college, or at a high school. This is, according to the early Muslims, this was a bid'ah. Likewise, Salatul Eid inside of the mosque. Now, do you know that Salatul Eid is not supposed to be done inside the mosque? It's supposed to be done out in a field somewhere. Okay? The Prophet never did Salatul Eid in a mosque, but yet we all do Salatul Eid in a mosque. So we have to look at these matters, and we know that the ulama have given us the guidelines for this. Okay?